This club means everything to me. I'm not just as an employee. I've been a supporter here since I was 10 years old.
Came in two guises really. Folkestone Town, which was the old club that went out of business. It's a club where I finished my playing career here, and I was here unfortunately when the club went out of business.
And Folkestone Invicta, who played out the back, funny enough, just out the back there on one of the council pitches, applied to use the ground, and they did.
And then Folkestone Invicta came along as a separate club and has taken over the reins from the old Folkestone Town. It's kind of reborn.
The club is just on a more professional footing, you know, from the training to the players, the way everything's run really.
Everything's pushing forward. We're currently in the Ryman Premier. If I'm honest, and if anybody at the club would tell you, we wasn't expecting to be where we are at the moment. It's a sort of couple of years early. We're sitting third in the league, great position. Wouldn't have dreamed of that start of the season, you know, and especially 3 or 4 years ago when the club was struggling.
Non-league clubs, they're the lifeblood. You know, whereas with the Premier clubs, they're getting in God knows how many millions from TV and things like that. We need the supporters and their sponsorships and buying raffle tickets to keep the club not on a level footing, but certainly to help us keep going.
I think, you know, the fans are the lifeblood of the football club. They've saved this football club on many occasions because they've been generous enough to supply the cash that obviously has kept us going.
We're all in this together kind of thing, you know, from the chairman right down to us, which explains the level of success we've had this season, which is, you know, this is very good.
I'm Gary Towse. I'm groundsman and also goalkeeping coach. Our little helpers assisted us on most of them. All these chairs, all done by volunteers that come over. They were all over in the other stand when it blew down a few years ago. So they've been put in by all the volunteers that come along on a Saturday morning and during the week. So this is a club that runs on volunteers really.
I raise money for the club in the way of the golden goals, and we cover 50-50 tickets and what have you. And we've been raising money for the club, myself and my buddy over there, for, I would say 50 years.
I've played for Folkestone Town, my boys have played for Folkestone Town. So I came over when I'm 6, so 60 years in a month's time. Dad was playing for Folkestone Town, I was over as a ball boy. So I was just running around getting their balls. But no, as I say, I played here, my boys have played here, so it's part of me really.
They played in many league clubs. I think they played Crewe and they played Swansea, and in the FA Cup they had some memorable games against those in the old Folkestone Town times. And when Chester was a Football League club, the Folkestone Invicta side went there and played in the FA Cup. It was there was some mighty games that have been played here in the past in the club's rich history really.
We've had some pretty memorable nights over here, I must admit. To be honest, they're more one-off games, and although winning the championship we did on Good Friday, we beat Walton and Hersham 6-0 on a Friday, and that was really good because we won the title and it was all done, and as I said to you before, we didn't have to worry about the playoffs that year, and there was a sigh of relief.
A couple of seasons ago when we won the Southern Division with a record points total, and we won it with about 5 games to spare.
We also had, I don't know if anyone's mentioned this, we also had the dreadful evening a few years ago when one of our players died during the game. I don't know if that's been mentioned, Paul Sykes. We played Margate in the Kent Senior Cup, and Paul was always one who messed about, and you just didn't, you know, he was lying around on the floor and you just didn't realise, and then but sadly he wasn't messing about that time. But again, there was a positive out of it. What happened was, because Paul had played for Dover and Margate as well, what happened was we pulled out the competition, and Dover, who coincidentally were the other finalists, played Margate here. And so we had a really good, nice celebration of Paul's life, and that was a good day to come out of what was extreme sadness and tragedy, really.
The team has been magnificent this year. as you know, the lads that we've taken players from a lower level, 2 leagues below us. They brought them in. Kieran, prime example, Kieran McCann, who played today, who's playing for Sevenoaks in the Southern Counties League, or whatever that is, which is 2 leagues below where we are now.
Well, for me, I've been here since I was about 10. Came in the team when I was 18. Got a big move to the Prem. Didn't like it, so came back because I bleed black and amber, and I just love it here.
I just like it here. I just like the people. I like the staff. I like training. The training's brilliant. I love training. But yeah, no, it's just a happy, loyal environment which everyone seems to get on board with. And
Neil's, the manager's always had that togetherness. He's always had that, and he will only bring people in that he thinks will fit into that set. If he's got somebody who like a bad apple, he wouldn't bring them in. As simple as that. He looks at the character as much as what playing ability is, and as I say,
so it shows again the sort of loyalty and that behind the club that we don't have. If I'm honest, even current players, we don't have many that go away from the club saying, "Oh, I'm never going to go back there again." Premier League, they all arrive with their big headphones on and don't acknowledge anybody, do they? Really? So it's no, it's good. That's the other thing with non-league. You do get you make friends. Not only with your own players, but and then when players go to other clubs, you make friends with them.
You're talking about a different world. You're talking about a different. Money's no object, where in non-league, money's a lot of object. You know, you got these clubs around that got this one person pouring in hundreds of thousands of pounds. Well, this club has never been like that. You get a few people putting a little bit in, and it's made to go tick over.
It's about the community. It's about building a club, which we're doing every season. You can see the crowds are going up. The club's getting more and more popular. Everybody here happy when they walk in the grounds, happy when they walk out, no matter what. It's just a lovely little feeling. It's just a really lovely little club full of great volunteers who they're always here. Match days, they're here sort of 8 o'clock in the morning. If it's raining, they're mopping up the pitch and they're getting everything on ready to go, sort of thing. We are so lucky here. I've been around a lot of non-league football clubs. The volunteers here are just absolutely incredible.
The fans are the lifeblood of the football club. They've saved this football club on many occasions.
We just wouldn't exist, as I've said so before, you know. You've got that little gang comes over here every Saturday morning and does work on the ground, work on all the facilities and prepares it for the match. And they do stuff all the week. We've got another one lays all the away coaches on for the players and the supporters.
Even during the summer in the closed season, they're over there painting, they're over doing a bit of stuff around the ground.
We had the snow recently and we had to get the game on. One message on Facebook, we had 55, 60 volunteers on the pitch that morning, clearing the pitch of snow and everything.
And by 11 o'clock, the whole pitch was cleared, and we actually played our game on the Saturday afternoon.
We were the only one in Kent. Gillingham wasn't on. The 3G at Margate wasn't on. So
you don't see that anywhere else. It's just all for free. No one gets nothing out of it. They just for the club basically, just to get the game on, so the club can flourish and keep pushing forward.
And I've worked at a lot of football clubs, and I've got to say, hand on heart, and I've said this many a time, that this football club has got better fans than any of the clubs I've ever worked at. I mean, they're behind the club. They're totally behind the club. There isn't a nasty element out there at all. I mean, every club that comes here will say how hospitable we are as a club and as fans, and I think that's a credit to the club and a credit to the community as well.
Non-league football in general has got their characters, but this club has got so many. Like I say, the volunteers out here every day, come over. Most of them are retired. They're all elderly. They're all retired. They come over in their spare time. And you look on the terraces. We've got the Noise Boys there every week.
And one of the Noise Boys, the infamous Noise Boys, I've actually been a supporter for over 40 years, ever since the days of the old Folkestone town team. So I'm basically part of the furniture.
They're great. It gives an atmosphere. We're never going to fill this ground up. And they give a bit of atmosphere. And hopefully the atmosphere, the players respond to it.
We love getting involved. It's the social aspect. It's having a crack with these guys on a match day, and
camaraderie as well. I think everyone gets on, like as in from staff all the way through to the people that come up in the bar after. Everyone wants to do well. Everyone just taking game by game, and I think that's been reciprocated by our results.
Watching the team play, that's the best part of the job. Yeah. plus having a cup of tea and cakes at half time.
It means everything to me, if I'm totally honest. I mean, if it wasn't here, I don't know what I'd be doing. I met my wife over here as well, so, you know, it's one of those, really.
Just been great. It's been part of my life, but it's been a great part of my life. Out in the fresh air, playing football, watching the boys play football, doing the ground. It's been a long 60 years of my life.
I've seen it through good times, bad times, everything. It's just always been here. So this is just a great club, just proper community little club. It's brilliant.
It's the community thing, the social aspect. That's probably the thing I treasure more than anything. Yeah.